Once upon a time, there was a house. But the story really starts before the house was built, when the house was still just a stack of lumber, fresh cut from the sawmill and being dumped off a delivery truck. The hopes and dreams of the family were tied up in that pile of wood because it would be their first really truly house together. And the land on which the house would stand would mean independence, something that the family longed for. The family worked hard to build the house. Even the little ones chipped in where they could. Bit by bit and piece by piece, the house began to take shape. It was subjected to the most rigorous of inspections. When the downstairs walls were in place, no holes were cut for the windows because the family had no windows yet, just the hope that windows would soon be a possibility. But the most exciting thing was when the roof rafters were put into place. Now it looked like a real house. The work was hard, but there was no time to lose. The mister of the house knew that it would soon be too cold and snowy to build, and he had to get a roof on so that the missus and all the little ones could get inside. At last, and not a moment too soon, the house was ready. Well, ready enough. And thanks to a friend with a spare window and another friend with a spare wood stove, there was a bit of light and warmth in the new little house. There was even an outhouse in the back stand of trees. The work was not completely done. Is it ever with a house? But there was time for a few fun and games. Winter came along with the snowy cold. A few more windows were popped into place. The family was warm and cozy, and so were the animals in the shed. Work continued inside the little house. The family worked together and played together. Gardens were grown. Children were born. Christmases were celebrated. Wood was carried. And animals were raised. All the time, the little house became more cozy and warm and loved. But then came the hard times. It was a grueling decision, but the family knew they had to leave the little house. Tearfully, they took the animals to auction, packed up their treasures of homemade Christmas gifts and memories, and moved on. Someone else bought the little house, and the first family hoped that the new family would love it as much as they had. They hoped that the echoes of happy children and Thanksgiving dinners would continue to be felt within the walls. Then came the news, a fire. No one was living there. The house was empty. It was too far out of the way for the fire trucks to arrive in time. The little house was burned. All that was left were bits of crumbling walls that had for so long stood up to ice and snow, that had kept out the black flies and mosquitoes, and that had contained so much of what is good about life. In spite of the sad news, the family went on to live happily ever after. But alas, the little house did not.